Welcome on, welcome all. Welcome back to another episode of Take Two. I'm T and that's Jay over there.
Hey, man. Good to see you, man.
Hey, bruh. Welcome back.
This is going to be a good one today.
Yeah, man. So I know you went and saw it on Friday.
Yes.
And I told you not to give me your first impression.
Of course.
So I went and saw it today. Yeah. So we're going to get into this Michael, deep dive into the Michael movie that just dropped this past week.
Yeah.
So let's go, bro. I got a lot to say.
I feel like you should go first. The only reason I say it is because it's fresh. Like you just saw it an hour ago, right?
Yep.
I've got a lot more time to think in the process and to weigh out certain things and to talk to people.
Okay.
I want your impressions first.
So first of all, like most people, I grew up the biggest Michael Jackson fan on the planet.
Who didn't?
I was a big time
in our age range. Who didn't?
Yeah. I knew all the songs by heart. I still know the songs by heart. So I'm singing them in my head during the movie. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I was let down. I was let down. Yeah,
Okay.
It wasn't like all the hype behind it, all the hype behind the movie. So let me throw a disclaimer.
Yeah.
Jafar Jackson acted his ass off, bruh.
One of the best depictions of any person in a biopic I've ever seen. He was incredible.
I think Michael Jackson is one of the, if not the toughest to portray because he was so iconic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Got to get it right.
Everybody studied that man. Now, me and my wife were talking about it on the way back from the movie, and she was like, there was a couple times where I thought that was Michael.
Yeah, you just kind of forgot for a little bit.
I never did.
Oh, you never forgot? Oh,
Nah.
Okay.
Nah,
Okay.
I never
That's
did.
fair. There's a couple times where I was like, man, I thought I am watching Michael Jackson. There's a few times.
Yeah, I did. I never got that.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
But again, I was super critical of it.
Sure.
And don't get me wrong, you left the movie feeling good.
Yeah, for sure.
It was a good movie, but I think they rushed the storyline, bro.
Yeah, man. You and I, we right here, dog.
Yeah.
We are right here.
So this is my personal opinion. I mean, I'm not trying to take shots at Antoine Fuqua because I know he was the director, or whoever who wrote the story, because they've done so many depictions of Michael Jackson. We didn't need to see the early years. This movie was supposed to be about Michael. We didn't need to see the Jackson 5 in the beginning. So I think the story should have started right when Michael wanted to record his own album, and they could have did flashbacks. But the story should have been
interesting. Yeah, that would have been an interesting way to do it for sure.
And I don't think they wouldn't have had to rush the storyline as much. And I know, based off what I saw, hopefully I'm not throwing any spoilers out there, that we're going to get a sequel. There's got to be a sequel.
We'll talk about that in a little bit. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit.
They can't leave it there, man. I'm going to be upset. So, I think they rushed the story. They should have started where Michael wanted to record his own album and how that became, because they could have done the flashbacks to how controlling
Joe
was.
Joe Jackson. Yeah, I feel you.
So I'm gonna let you jump in there before I keep going.
I as well left a little disappointed. I wasn't upset at it. Wasn't mad. I'm glad I saw it. It's a good movie, especially for people who know and love Michael Jackson. If you know and you love Michael Jackson, you're gonna love this movie. Hands down, you'll love the movie.
But as a movie fanatic,
it's not an incredible movie.
Right.
It's not, especially for biopics, right? It's not Bohemian Rhapsody. It's not Ray. It's not those. It is a good movie, and it definitely leans heavy on you already loving Michael Jackson's music.
Yeah.
It leans on that fact, which is fine, I guess.
Yes. I will tell you, Ray and Bohemian Rhapsody, I think Jafar Jackson, he is going to be in the running for best leading male. Like, he acted his butt off in that movie.
That's fair. He was incredible.
Yeah.
He was absolutely incredible. And that's, I will say, one of the brightest points of the movie was just the acting in general. Jafar Jackson, I thought Nia Long as his mom was incredible. I thought Coleman Domingo was fantastic as Joe Jackson.
Phenomenal.
Let me say that.
Phenomenal. Yeah.
As I was thinking about that movie and thinking about him him specifically, Coleman Domingo, you know, that is a man with very specific characteristics and traits as a gay man as he is, and you know none of that is visible at all.
None.
Which
None.
I am like, that's like,
That's
he's an
supporting
incredible
role
actor.
right there.
Oh,
That's
an
supporting.
incredible
Yep.
actor. So
Yeah,
the
man.
acting, in my opinion, was a really, really strong point of this film.
Yeah.
They were fantastic. But I agree with you. The story was rushed. I remember sitting there, and I don't know about you, but I took the kiddos, right? You know, it was PG-13, so I was like, the kids can watch this.
Yeah, we weren't 100% sure, so it was just us.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I remember turning over to Tanae and then saying I don't know if these kids realize how bad and how poor they were, because it was that quick. They were poor for a second, and then they were rich. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't really hit home that they were struggling, and it didn't really hit home. I mean, they definitely did some scenes I thought were really good about his abuse as a kid, but it wasn't a ton.
No, they
They-
super
they-
downplayed it.
They went fast. It was super
Yeah.
fast. So, yeah, the storyline is just very rushed, very, very rushed.
But that's why I come back to, the story's been told so many times. I think most of us have seen all the Michael Jacksons. We know that he was abused.
Right.
We know that they were poor.
Right.
We know Joe wanted to get out of the steel mill. And you know what? I don't think they would have been as successful if they were if Joe didn't push them the way he pushed them.
Man,
All of that off the table. You know what I mean? But I come back to, all right, this story is called Michael. Here's a good take.
not the Jackson 5, not the
No,
Jacksons. It's
Jackson
Michael.
5. So this story, without a doubt, you can argue me down on this one, but Michael was the protagonist.
For sure.
Joe was the antagonist.
100%.
I don't think they wasn't telling the story of Mike becoming Mike, in my opinion. So
Agreed.
I come back to it. I'm like, if that story would have started like right around the time where he wanted to record Off the Wall, and then showing the struggles of him trying to break away from his dad, I think that would have been a good starting point. Story wouldn't have been as rushed.
You know what? I didn't think about that, like starting the movie there, but I do think that's a really, really great idea. And I completely agree with you that the story had a hero and this story had a villain, and you could have made this movie Michael versus Joe. Like, that could have been the name of this movie. Like, that's what this movie was about. And I do agree that that from what we know about Michael Jackson in general, because of all of the entertainment we've seen, all the movies or whatever, or mini series they had, we know Joe Jackson was a very abusive father, and we know that Michael had an extremely strained relationship with him. That's a nice way to put it, an extremely strained relationship. So we knew all that, like you said. I think that this movie didn't do enough to put any sort of nuance with their relationship. There was no nuance. Like, there's no, like you said, there wasn't enough like credit given to Joe Jackson for getting them out of Gary, and there isn't enough nuance to talk about how Michael Jackson is seen as extremely innocent in this movie. 1,000% innocent. And they didn't talk about any of the selfishness that he may have had wanting to go solo, or, apparently during that victory tour, he had like an $8 million stage that like really plummeted their ticket sales in real life, stuff like that. And so he is the hero. He was the protagonist. He was perfect and innocent. And it doesn't really give any depth to the character,
Yep. Agreed. Completely agree. On the flip side, I love the story on how he filmed Beat It. Like, a lot of people don't know that those were legitimate Bloods and Crips on his stage.
That was incredible. I didn't know that.
Yeah. They and I don't think anybody else could have gotten the Bloods and the Crips to be able to, at that time, because I think that was the height of their rivalry, early to mid 80s.
Early 80s? Oh, wow.
Because Bad came out late 80s.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So to get them in the same group, and then here's the thing, like, we're talking about the hardest of the hard, the masculine of the masculine.
Sure.
These dudes, and they're boying over Michael Jackson. Like everybody was a Mike fan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Course. Absolutely.
And so just to be in the room with that kind of greatness, and I love how they portrayed that, bro. Like I don't think
That was good.
I don't think anybody could have done what he did back in the 80s. And then the how much he loved to give back. Even after he had his injury, man, he's walking through the hospital and visiting kids in the in the child's rooms, and giving back.
Yes.
Incredible.
Again, I think that's incredible. I don't think any previous MJ stories have really delved into that. So I think that's really good. I do think that those are extremely intentional because we know the stories of him.
Yeah.
And so they're trying to make sure they paint him in a very specific light. So, again, Michael is extremely innocent in this movie. There's no nuance. There's no possibility of him being anything other than perfect in this movie.
Well, I saw that he lacked backbone when it came to Joe.
True. Very true.
He had other people who needed something from him do his dirty work.
Very fair. Yes.
Could you tell Joe? Can you tell Joe for me?
Right.
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna look him straight in his eye. Yeah, and never did that. Even at the end, even during the victory tour, he had to do it on the stage in front of everybody, announce it to the world, so you can't go backwards, rather than tell him to his face.
Yep. So
yes,
Jolie,
you're right about
Jolie
that.
was like, he finally stood up to Joe. I was like, no, he didn't.
He didn't stand up to him.
He copped out.
He did.
He did it on stage.
He did.
Oh, where he's comfortable. Like the stage is his realm.
Yes. And where Joe has no say and cannot come out and do anything.
Yep.
Yes. I do think I do want to go back a little bit to the characters because I mentioned Nia Long, his mom. I thought she was fantastic. I can't think of a performance where she's had to be so emotional for the majority of film. So I thought it was really great for her. But a character in particular that I just was unfamiliar with was his driver, Bill.
Bill, yeah.
He had a lot, in my opinion. He represented kind of like the audience in this film, like wanting to see Michael, break the cycle, wanting to see him like stand up to his dad, go ahead and break out and do your own thing. That's okay. You know what I mean? Like he had a lot of father figure.
Big brother. Let's go Big Brother.
Big Brother's probably better.
Yeah, he's more a Big Brother than
Big Brother energy. Yeah, for sure. And I thought he was great. I don't know who that actor is. I don't know who that is who played him. But,
Me either.
But
I meant to look him up before we logged on.
Oh, it's all good. I don't recognize him, but he was good, and his character was solid. So I wanted to mention that because I thought he was great. Definitely thought he was great.
Because I never heard of the guy before, like in any of his previous portrayals.
I completely agree. Yeah, I'd never heard about him before.
And the funny thing is, Joe hired him.
Right. So, yeah.
So Joe hired him, but and at the end, he was the one who says it's over. You know what I mean? Like, but I think, and I think he stayed in his role. He stayed in his job as the driver, and he was not a confidant. He didn't provide a lot of advice based off what we saw in the movie.
Right.
But he did. Yeah.
It was necessary. It was good. That scene when he just got in there and told him to drive. It was great. They, over the Hollywood sign and just had that conversation. It was great.
Yeah.
It was very good.
And you know what? I don't know if that was really the place, but it was a great shot. It was a good
beautiful.
scene.
Yeah.
Bro, I was like,
they got to take some creative liberties, of course.
Yeah, I'm saying they gotta Hollywood it up. Come on,
of course.
But here's the thing, man. When I saw that shot, I thought about you, dog. I was like, I know Jay enjoyed that shot.
I did. I definitely did. There's a few shots I really enjoyed. That one for sure. This is gonna sound real bad, but there was a shot of young Michael picking out which belt to get. What That shot was so good. It was a good shot,
bro. That was a powerful shot because a lot of people our age and older had to pick out their own switches or pick out their own belts. You know what I mean? So
yes, me and Tanae were talking about like that shot it put a feeling in you because
Yep.
I used the word nostalgia. She's like, nope, not nostalgia, trauma. I was like, yes, it brought back that trauma.
Yep.
But
100%.
incredible shot for sure.
So, the other thing I want to say is you did leave the movie feeling something.
Of course.
Whether you did have feelings about that movie. You had opinions and feelings about Joe. Even his mom. Mm-hmm. Like, let's do a little dive in her real quick. She was super meek, super reserved, but is that how spouses were back in the 50s and 60s?
60s, right. I think they had to. I honestly, what's funny is I had a conversation with somebody about this and them saying that she doesn't get enough blame for not protecting her children. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, at this time, 50s and 60s, which means you grew up in the 40s, like they couldn't even have a bank account. Like,
yep.
What do you want her to do? Like,
get up and leave? Go where?
Right.
Take your kids where?
Go? Exactly. Yeah. And you got 6 of them at that time before, before any of the others came along. Yeah. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? I completely, I was told that I'm judging her based off of 1960 standards and I'm judging Joe based off of today's standards. And I'm like, I don't agree with that. I think I'm judging Joe correctly.
So, yeah. So, and you know what? I think there's a lot of nuance behind Joe. He isn't just straight butthole. He did have some, hey, look, I'm going to get my family out of here and I'm going to do it through discipline. And he saw talent in his kids. And he kept the sharks at bay. Right. So he wasn't no idiot. I'll tell you that. But then again,
he instilled work ethic like none other, and discipline, like you said, and it was fantastic what he did as far as getting his kids out. Mm-hmm. Now, what he had to do to get them to be that perfect was not fantastic.
Extreme.
It was
extreme.
Yeah. 100%.
But was it abuse back then? Was it considered abuse?
Considered? No. Was it?
No. Yeah.
Well, see, and here's the thing, that's the whole conversation we're having. It was like, well, that was the norm back then. And I agree, it was the norm, but it was the norm, I'm assuming, obviously, not that age. It was the norm to spank your kids, beat, whatever word you want to say, back then for bad behavior.
Even through the 80s, because we got spanked too, brother.
Of course. Yeah. Bad behavior, doing something wrong, talking back.
Yeah.
Not, hey, perform this thing, and if you mess up, you don't spin correctly, you're gonna get a whooping.
Yeah.
That's where it becomes excessive, right?
Yeah.
I was joking around with Caleb. It was like, hey, you want to be a great saxophone player? I'm gonna sit there, watch you. I'm gonna have my belt in my hand, and any mistake you make, it'll probably make them a lot better. Probably wouldn't make our relationship very good.
No. So I will tell you, when the spanking scene, I did cringe. I cringed.
Sure.
But I remember getting spanked like that. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
And never considered it abuse. But when I saw him doing it, I was like, oh my God, I couldn't imagine doing that to my kids.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Is there anything that you learned about Michael when watching this movie that you didn't know before?
Yes. I didn't know he was that afraid of Joe as an adult.
Okay.
I didn't know he had that. So I knew Joe manipulated him into doing the Victory Tour.
Okay.
But I didn't know that he was that afraid.
Sure.
Yeah, and how he utilized people around him to do his dirty work for him.
Right.
When it comes to Joe, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because when I see Mike, I grew up watching Mike. He was this figure, this powerful figure, this giver, I just remember that one video, or that one shot from the Man in the Mirror video, where he's got a little slight jog and he's got this army of people behind him and they're following him. Mm-hmm. Like, that's the Michael Jackson that I knew.
Yeah.
And then when you step back and he's looking at Joe and he's cowering, like a whimpering dog when Joe is around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, dude. And let's be 100. How many people let their parents have that power over them?
I mean,
It's a lot,
know.
man.
I don't know. It's definitely a lot more than I would say people think, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
It's it may not have been physical fear, but I don't want to disappoint my parents. Oh, I'm going to medical school because of my dad. I'm going to be a lawyer because of my mom. You know, it's different. It's portrayed differently.
Different types of manipulation, for sure.
Yeah. So what about you? What did you learn? Yeah.
One thing that was very surprising to me is how long they lived together. Even him.
Oh, yes. That was
did
another
Off
one.
The Wall. He did Thriller, and you still at the crib
living at home,
mom and dad. Like that's you.
And he's the only one.
You got the biggest record of all time, and you living at home with mom and dad still. Like that was surprising to me. Like I fired you. I'm gonna go to my room. Go to my room.
Yeah, you ain't my manager no more, but I'm gonna still live in your house, Dad.
Yeah, that was very surprising to me. Did not see that one coming at all. Also, again, I knew this, but I guess I think the movie did a very good job of portraying this is how lonely he was. You know what I mean? Needing animals to be friends. He even called them his friend. Like they're not my pets, they're my friends. That kind of thing. Which I think the movie did a good job of showing his loneliness through that, showing his loneliness through trying to hang out with kids in hospitals, which are fantastic. I also think the movie was trying to again portray him in a specific light in regards to his interaction with children.
I know where you're going.
Yeah. So I thought the movie did a good job of those things, and kind of give us some insight into how lonely he was. So yeah, I think those are two of the major things I learned is how late. I don't know when he left home, but it was late, very late.
So with that being said, he did say something extremely interesting when, I can't remember who asked him, what was it, his mom? Who says, do you want friends your own age?
Oh, yeah.
And then he was like
other kids. He's like, I'm not like the other kids.
They don't look at me the same. I'm not the same. They want to take pictures with me. They want something from me, I thought that was another, and I think they Hollywooded that too, because I think they wanted to portray a message. But he's right. I mean, he's right.
Definitely right. He's definitely right.
Not the same.
Yeah.
He's not a regular kid, Yeah,
you can't just go outside and play basketball, down the street with these kids. After you are on tour and everyone loves you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, all of that. I completely agree. So it had, and so I feel like I was disappointed, and I feel like I'm being very critical, but I still very much enjoyed it. You know what I mean? I still very much enjoyed the movie, which is a weird thing to say, like to be this critical. And honestly, that's what we said. They relied on the fact that you love Michael Jackson, you love his music.
It's the nostalgia when you hear the music. That's what drew you in. That's what kept you in the theater. Because here's the thing: I was reading some of the critics' reviews prior to going to see the movie, and it kind of bothered me. I was like, come on, movie, because I typically don't like a lot of critics' reviews.
Sure,
I go to the movie and I really enjoyed it, but a lot of critics were spot on, man. They felt like it lacked substance, it lacked depth. It was missing something, and I think it's because they focused more on the music and they rushed the storyline.
They rushed the story for sure, and it felt very much like there were times where it just felt like a concert. There were times where it's just like, okay, don't get me wrong, his music's amazing. We love to hear him in concert, but I'm here for a movie. I'm here to learn a story. I'm here to see more of the in-depth things about MJ. So this feels, unnecessary right now.
Again, but it was still an enjoyable movie. I still left. What's that?
I said, I still liked it. Still left, feeling like,
I still left.
But I like it.
The still bopping and singing the songs in my head. It was. So I want people to go see the movie because you're going to enjoy it. It's It's just if you're looking for a legit biopic, this isn't it.
Yeah, it's not. It's not.
Yeah.
I would say, the two I mentioned earlier, Ray, Bohemian Rhapsody, but like those are really incredible movies about singers and that had a lot of depth and it was a beautiful story told. And this is the greatest entertainer of all time. Like, I feel like we should have a better movie than this.
Yep.
But all that said, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But it's probably because
even
he's the greatest entertainer of all time. That's probably why I enjoy it. It's less to do with the movie and more to do with who he is.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people were looking for more behind the curtains of who Mike was because he was so mysterious. You even saw it in one of the clips. He was like, "No, I'm not going to do a bunch of interviews. I want to be mysterious." You know what I mean? So,
Right.
yeah.
If you had to rate this movie, on a 10 scale, what would you put it at?
Dang, that's a good question.
It's a tough one. I've been thinking about this for days.
Because the way I feel when I left the movie, I was like, man, that a lot of those, and it was the music took me back, took me back to points in my life. When I listened to those songs, Human Nature,
Oh man,
Human Nature, another good one. And in my opinion, that was probably one of the best scenes when he was doing Human Nature. That was the closest to being Mike that I saw him do. I was like, dang, that's Mike. That's the closest. And when he did "I'm Bad," because I'm bad.
It was Billie Jean when he did Billie Jean. That was it felt a lot like Mike to me on that one.
Okay, so I did love Billie Jean, and I did. Oh, let's take it back a little bit. I did love how he forced. Was it NBC or
CBS to get
CBS?
on MTV?
The exact. He was like, "Hey, look, man." He didn't. He strong arm, but he ain't strong arm him. It was like, hey, look.
It was clear. The message was clear.
Yeah,
I need to be on MTV.
Yep. So,
and I just had the biggest album sale of all time. So
you telling me you're not gonna play my music?
Like, really? Me on MTV.
Yeah. And of course, that took him from the stratosphere to outer space, bro.
Yeah, for real. Real.
So
I will say
I'm torn.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, give me your rating. My bad. You're torn.
I'm torn because my heart wants to give it a 10, but the movie lover in me wants to give it a 6.
Which leaves you at silence. Got it.
7. I'll go 7.
I was gonna go 7.5, 7.5.
Okay,
is where I'm.
Why
at.
7.5?
It's not quite an 8, but I feel like a 7's too low because,
it's
as
Mike.
I keep saying, I really enjoyed it. I did enjoy it, but like you said, the movie lover me and the over analytical brain is like, this is not a great movie. Like, you can't make it a 10. It's not great. Your 10 movies, the movies that you think are incredible movies, it's not anywhere close. But man, why did I like it so much? And I'm not a kid where, we go back and you watch some stuff when you were a kid and you're like, man, this is my favorite movie. I watched it as a kid, and as an adult you watch it and you're like, this is bad. But I was just a kid. I didn't know any better. I will say this. I loved the scene in the movie when they were trying to figure out the name of the album, and you just saw the track list, and I was like, that's got to be one of the greatest albums of all time. Like, it's
Which, Thriller?
Yeah.
Oh, so
the track list is insane.
Yeah, Thriller is not
Bangers.
my favorite album of him. I like Bad, but Thriller is the most iconic.
Okay.
So, that was, when you asked me, what was something I learned about him, I'm going to retract that statement and throw this. His creative process was something I learned. I love that, bro. Like, he doesn't get enough credit for that. He went in there and he was looking for inspiration everywhere. And he found Beat It through watching the news and gangs,
Yeah.
And
that was really cool.
And then, the creative process, I love how they portrayed that. Those were some good shots, too, how they shot the bulletin board when he was doing this thing.
Dude, that was nice. I really like that, for sure.
Yep,
for sure.
100%.
Yeah, man. And I do think that they treat some of these, larger than life characters as just side characters. Like I feel like we didn't get enough Quincy Jones.
Yep.
Like Quincy, it's a big deal.
He was a
It's
big impact
deal.
on Mike.
Right.
Yeah.
And they, these are larger than life people who are just tiny side characters in this movie. The fact that we didn't even see Janet Jackson at all, like crazy to me.
So, shout out to my wife, Jolie. She talked about that when she was like, you know what? Because I gave her my perspective on how it should have started, where I said it should have started. She was like, you're right, because they didn't get into any of the other kids. Mm-hmm. Like they focused on the Jackson 5 and Janet, Reby, none of the other kids. Mm-hmm. They had like 10 kids.
Yeah, they had 10 kids.
And they made it seem like they only had 6.
Yeah, we saw LaToya a couple times. And I was like, of all the girls, why LaToya? Like,
Janet is the most iconic daughter.
For sure. For sure.
So
he is
I know
the second most known.
Successful.
Yeah, Jackson. And we didn't even see her. It's crazy.
Yep. So again, look, I'm not a director. You are. But also would like to go back to the story writers, whoever wrote it. I know they had some, behind the scenes, they got some hidden.
Yeah.
But
I would love to see that initial first final cut. No, it's not a final cut, that first cut, because I bet it is so much more nuanced and fulfilling as a story. I bet it is.
Yeah. I agree.
I really wish we could see that. There's no way we'll ever see that.
But they did tap on what got him started on drugs. And
they did.
They didn't do a deep dive on it, but they explained, hey, look, he got burned and the docs was pushing Demerol on that boy, man. Mm-hmm. He was like, I don't want drugs, but they were pushing it on him. And
again, and this is why I say I feel like they did a lot to try to protect his image as the innocent one. Mm-hmm. Like, again, no one plans to get addicted to pills, right?
Yeah.
No one plans to get, but they made sure to make it like, no, he doesn't want to do this. He does not want to do this. The same way they made sure to show him with kids in a very positive light. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like, are they, is this true? Or are they trying to make sure his image is
No, from what I know, it's true. He did a lot of that. He had kids over to his house to Never Land, and he did all that, which is 100% true. He did a lot for kids.
Sure.
Now, what we don't know is the allegations. Are they true?
Of course.
Only Mike and the people and the kids that were in the room would know. And I want to believe that they're not true because it's Michael Jackson.
Yeah, same. I would want to believe that as well. The movie clearly takes a side without addressing it. That's what they do. And I feel that way a little bit about the medications. They take a side without addressing the fact that he died from, overdose of drugs.
Fentanyl. I think it was fentanyl, right? Yeah.
I don't remember. I do remember where I was when he died, though. And I'll say that's how big of a person he was. I remember exactly where I was for 2 things, 9/11 and when Michael Jackson died. That's how huge of an impact it, for me.
100%. Completely agree.
Yeah,
but let's just go ahead and wrap up final thoughts on the movie, man. I 100% recommend it. I think it's a phenomenal movie. I'm sorry. I think it's going to make you feel great when you watch the movie. I don't think it's a great story. Mm-hmm. I think there's a lot of gaps and a lot of holes, and the story was without a doubt rushed. I hope that they continue the sequel because it did say the story continues. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I 100% recommend it. Go see it. You're going to feel great when you leave the movie. They're tapping on nostalgia, and that's what they're banking on with this movie. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
I would agree with 1,000% with what you said. I would recommend for you to watch it for sure. I think it's a good movie. I think it is, like I said, it taps into the nostalgia and the genius of who he is for sure. And you're gonna love it because you already love all his music, so you're gonna love that part. But if you are looking for an in-depth dive on who he is and his struggles and to see the human side of him, it's not going to be on this movie. He is larger than life, perfect protagonist in this movie, and it's good for the movie.
But you know
great
what?
For character,
I don't think they showed how big he was in the movie.
They tried, but I don't think they accomplished it.
Nah, bro, because Mike, he crossed all dimensions. Like his music crosses dimensions, man. That dude was incredible, man.
Yeah, he's the GOAT. He is the greatest entertainer we've ever seen, and
completely
everyone else is living in his shadow.
And, shooting for second, right?
And maybe that's a reason why we can't have a great movie with him, because he's too great in our eyes for any movie to really encompass who he is.
Remember, I told you he is probably without a doubt the hardest person to portray, in my opinion.
Yeah. But boy, Jamar Jackson did an incredible job.
He did a really great job, 100%. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up there, little bro. Look, man,
all right, man.
Always a pleasure to rap about movies, man. And
sir.
Next week we're gonna get after Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
One of my faves. We'll talk about that next week.
Yeah, we will talk about that next week. All right, brother. And
all right, bro.
Till next time.